Hello, my beautiful audience. Welcome to a new little story I'll be doing for my What If channel today. And I'm doing this What If due because my birthday is tomorrow and I want to get a video out before tomorrow because I most likely won't upload. So, yeah. So, this is going to be, as you can see from the picture, if you don't know what it is, this is going to be what if Deku had the same abilities as Neo from the Matrix, or what if he was Neo from the Matrix. So, this is going to be part 1, so let's hop into the video. Deku was born with the ability. Deku would learn that he would have a quirk at the age of 5, like normal kids would, but except how he would figure it out is due to when Bakugo was bullying him, due to how quirkless Deku was. Deku would somehow instantly, but not really knew how he died, would accidentally dodge Bakugo's attack incredibly fast, making it look like if Deku was moving through after images. Now, I know what you're going to say if the people that have saw all 3 movies of The Matrix on how it doesn't really look like an after image, but more as he breaks the sound barrier due to how you see the bullets being fired off and how you can see the bullets wave pattern as it's moving. So, yeah. So you can basically say, because in the movie it shows time slows down and he can basically see in a slowdown perspective in a sort of way. So Deku would have accidentally dodged Bakugo's attack without knowing how fast he was moving, and this would shock Bakugo and some of his friends on seeing how fast Deku moved, and Bakugo would try to attack Deku again, but Deku ends up dodging it again and again and again, and then Deku is realizing that he's dodging these attacks, but he's not knowing that he's doing it. And then this is when the teacher would intervene, tell Bakugo to stop attacking Deku and stop making a ruckus. And then this is when Deku would rush home, telling his mom that he thinks he might have unlocked in a quirk. And this is when Deku's mom would take him to the quirk doctors again to get him checked out. And then this is when the court doctor would do a series of tests on Deku, and then he would come up with the results. And the results is that Deku has the ability to move insanely fast, but not as for speed wise, but as for fast movements, such as if he trains his quirk to its limit and surpassing its limit, he'll be way fast enough. He'll be incredibly fast. And this is when Deku would say, "You're saying I'll be fast enough I'll be fast enough to dodge bullets?" And then this is when the court doctor would get into Deku's face and saying that you might be able to do more than just dodge bullets. And if you didn't get that little reference, that was from the movie. So, yeah. And this is when Deku's mom would ask him, "What do you mean by he won't just be able to dodge bullets?" And this is when he would say, "Yeah, he won't just be able to dodge bullets. It seemed like Deku also has incredible strength that allows him to kind of break the way how the physicality of the object would. As for an example, he would have Deku punch an iron plate, and then Deku would punch it, but soon as Deku is done punching it, it will look like that if the metal plate is going in and then bouncing back out. So you can say that it looks like how can I put this? The metal plate is look like it's absorbing, like, let's take Fat Gum for example, the Pro Hero Fat Gum. Let's take him for example. You seen how that villain punch Fat Gum and then you see like his belly go in and then pop back out? Yeah, that's how the metal is kind of looking at this point. And then the court doctor would say that your son has this incredible speed of reflex and movements, which is almost like if he's doing it perfectly. Like, it's very incredible. And not just that, his strength makes it look like he's hitting the object before the object can feel the impact. Sorry about that. That's what the doctor is getting from what Deku is doing. And I know what you guys are thinking. Wait a minute. Isn't his abilities... Wouldn't he also get the ability of that force field to stop bullets before they reach him? And I'm gonna say not yet, but he will get that ability like Neo does. And if you guys have never seen The Matrix, I should just go watch it. Very interesting movie. All three were beautifully done. And if you do not know Neo, and if are not aware of his abilities, I'll go down his abilities. The main character Neo, his abilities is basically reality bending strength. Like, he could really bend reality if he wanted to. Well, not really bend reality, but bend it and break it. Well, not bend and break, more to like he can he can bend it. So yeah, you can say he can bend it and break it. You can say that. Basically not really breaking reality, but the rules of it. Bending some rules of it and breaking some of the rules to a certain degree and point. His other abilities, which is immensely speed flight, he can move. His movements are faster than the eye can see, which is incredibly fast in its own right. His flight is towards light speed. He can fly, surpassing supersonic boom level. He has healing. He has supernatural healing abilities, and his pain tolerance is kind of on a respectable note for pain. So like, he can feel pain, but to a certain degree where he can't feel so much as pain. And his and I might be giving you a few more than I suspected about Neo's ability, because Neo does have a variety of abilities. But one of his main abilities that I really personally like is the ability of quick learning. In in the movie, you would see that he is like, the stuff is being like being digitally uh, manually being programmed into his brain. But other than that, he can learn incredibly fast on his own without it being plugged into his brain or learn a certain skill or trick or talent. He can do that on his own, but he can also learn it manually. And I really would not mind that. That's a pretty cool power on its own. And yeah, sorry about that. So, Deku, I'll say a few years have passed. Deku is 12 years old. And Deku is training his strength. And I'm going to keep it kind of similar to the movie in a certain degree. So, in the movie, Neo learns um jujitsu. He learned all styles and all martial arts. Focus on the martial arts of jujitsu. Even though Neo in the movie learns a variety of martial arts combat skills, but the main one he mostly uses is jujitsu. So I'm gonna say that Deku learns jujitsu purposely, do because I'm trying to keep it kind of somewhat close to the story, so I don't get full out far, like I just go wacky nuts with it, because that's what I feel like doing. Because Neo is literally like a computer Superman if Superman became OP without a weakness. So basically, yeah, because I do want to go crazy with it, but I want to keep it close to the movie. So Deku is 12 years old. He's training jujitsu. He's actually kind of mastered a few moves and all that. He's respectively good in the martial arts at his own right. He's actually gone up against a few masters in it, and he has beaten them, of course, due to his rapid speed of reflex, and his reaction time is just incredibly fast. I'll do another time skip to the beginning of the anime where we get to see Deku in middle school, and I'll skip to the point where the teacher. Deku's last day of middle school. This is the same in canon with the whole teacher throwing the papers, Bakugo saying that he's going to be number one. But this time, Deku has more self confidence. And I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Isn't Neo in the movie, his self confidence has jumped skyrocket. Like, the dude is cocky to like the point where he can back it up. So basically, he's cocky like Escanor, except he could pull his weight and being this cocky 10, I'll say 15 times better than Escanor can. And that's kind of crazy to say because Escanor is the cockiest human deity there is. So, yeah. So, I'll say that Deku raises his hand saying that he's also applying to go to UA high school. And then this is when Bakugo would have an idea of going to attack Deku, but he realized if he attacks Deku, he's just gonna dodge it. And then Bakugo would yell out saying, I know if I go over right now to attack you, you'll just dodge me before I even get ready to ignite, or take me down before I get ready to ignite, but no matter what, I will figure out a way to beat your speed. And then this is when Deku would say, "Yeah, and when you do, you still won't be fast enough to land a single hit on me." And I know what you guys are gonna probably say. Wait a minute, isn't you're just basically giving Deku Ultra Instinct best step you're giving, but you're just switching it out for a different type of genre. If you're thinking that, you're kind of wrong because Ultra Instinct is kind of a limitless, while this has a limit. So yeah. So I know I'm kind of making it sound like Deku is gonna be freakishly OP. Trust me, he's really not gonna be that OP because Neo he has a limit to how much he can push because he's literally in a digital world, and due to that, he is placed with limit on how he can do certain things, on how fast he moves, on how strong he is. There is a limit, and Deku basically has that same limit. And the reason why I'm giving Deku this limit, but it's a little bit higher than Neo's, because Neo is in the real world going to a digital version of the world. Sorry about if you hear anything in the background. The reason why I'm saying this is because Deku Deku is in the real world while Neo is in the real world going to a digital world, so he's placed on top with a limit on how much he can do. But I'll say that Deku is also placed on a limit on how much he can do. And yeah, just for the sake of the story, because I do want Deku to get into fights knowing that he won't be able to, like, he'll be able to hold his own, but he won't become as freakishly powerful as Neo is in the movie. So yeah, Deku would walk home as take the same route as he would in canon, except the fight between Deku and the Sludge villain would go completely different, with the Sludge villain trying to attack Deku, but every time the Sludge villain is attacking Deku's either blocking his attacks or dodging. Now I know what you guys are saying. Wait a minute, didn't you just say he trained to the way how I'm making it sound like how Deku trained? He's incredibly fast. But no, Deku is still on the lower levels of his fast reflex. So I'll say that he's right now the level that Deku's up to right now for his fast reflex is half a Spider-Man. So yeah, Deku's reflex are half of Spider-Man's right. If not half, maybe a quarter of Spider-Man's fast reflex of his Spidey sense. So yeah, Deku is dodging the attacks, but he's still getting hit. But when he gets hit, he's most likely blocking, keeping his defense up. And this goes the same, stays the same for the whole the whole prime of this fight is staying the same until Deku grabs one of the Sludge villain's whip attacks, and then he would actually pull himself towards the Sludge villain, trying to go in for a kick, but the Sludge villain would barely dodge the kick, and then the Sludge villain would say, "Not bad, kid, you're pretty fast, and due to that speed, you must have a well-toned body, so that gives me more intentions to steal it from you." And then Deku would say, "Ew, no." And then this is when the Sludge villain would try to hit Deku one more time, but Deku barely dodges his attack. This is when we would get All Might would come out of nowhere saying Detroit Smash, would say Delaware Smash, knocking out the Sludge villain. And this is when Deku would start to have that little fanboy moment, asking All Might for his autograph. And same as in canon, Deku would grab onto All Might's leg, but this time at the last minute, because we don't know how fast Deku got onto All Might's leg before All Might jumped off, or how high Deku had to jump, which is still kind of a blasphemy. But yeah, Deku will grab onto All Might's leg, and the same thing will happen in canon, but except the Sludge villain falling out of All Might's pocket, Deku would actually grab the bottle that contains the Sludge villain. And then this is when we have the moment with Deku and All Might on the roof. And this time Deku would ask All Might, can he be a hero with only a quirk that allows him to have fast movements? You know, that allows him to like dodge attacks incredibly fast. And then All Might would say, wouldn't become the number one hero, but you'll become pretty much of a good rescue hero. And then he would start using a few heroes such as Kamiwood, Kamiwood, and Eraserhead, and a few other heroes on how their quirks are not really much for combat, but they're good for helping out and rescuing people. And then Deku would understand, but it just gives Deku more motivation and confidence to keep training and to become the best he can be. And then this is when Deku would hand back the container holding the Sludge villain, telling All Might that he almost dropped this, and then All Might would leave off the rooftop, and so would Deku. This is when Deku would get home and tell his mom everything would happen. And by the time Deku walks into his house, by the time Deku walks into his house, he sees a tall, sinister black man that is completely bald, and he has glasses covering only just his eyes, not even to the point. We're just wearing glasses that just hold on to his nose. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was trying to time myself. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Yeah, back to the video. So yeah, Deku, and this is when we see a tall, sinister man with glasses, with just covering, that's just holding out from his nose and covering his eyes. And then he says to Deku, "You're the one." And I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you to whoever watches this. I love you guys. I'll probably upload on Monday or probably tomorrow. And tomorrow is my birthday, and your boy is turning a full-on 15 years old. So yeah, thanks. And thank you to all those who supported me all the way. And yeah, even though even though I am turning of a new age tomorrow, I want this YouTube channel to turn up. So yeah, hope you like, subscribe, comment down below on how was your day. And until the next video, peace.